The email arrived at 6:03 a.m., before the sun, before my coffee, before I was emotionally prepared to read the words that would flip my quiet life upside down. Final notice, it said. Not hello. Not good morning. Just a threat wrapped in bold font and passive-aggressive punctuation. The HOA had decided, without warning, that my home was now non-compliant, and they were coming for me. What they didn't know was that they had just declared war with the wrong neighbor. I'd moved into Maple Ridge for peace. Tree-lined streets, kids riding bikes, that fake suburban promise of calm. The HOA brochure talked about community harmony and shared values. What it didn't mention was Karen, actually 3 Karens, armed with clipboards, binoculars, and nothing but time. Within weeks, I learned the rules weren't about order. They were about control. It started small. A note on my door about my trash can being visible for 9 minutes too long. Another about my lawn being 1 shade greener than approved. I laughed it off at first. Everyone did. Until the fines started stacking up like dominoes, each one more ridiculous than the last. $50 for parking half an inch over my own driveway line. $100 for a wreath that was apparently too festive for March. The president of the HOA, Linda, loved to smile while delivering bad news. Her smile was tight, rehearsed, and cold. She'd knock on doors like she was doing charity work, not ruining lives. Rules are rules, she'd say, eyes glittering. If we let one slide, where does it end? It ended with my car being towed. I came home late from work one night to an empty driveway and a neon notice taped to my garage. Unauthorized vehicle. Towed at owner's expense. The kicker. My car was registered, permitted, and parked exactly where it had been for 2 years. When I called the towing company, they said the HOA authorized it. When I called the HOA, Linda told me calmly that my car looked abandoned. Something snapped in me then. Not loud, not explosive, quiet, focused. I started reading every HOA bylaw, every county ordinance, every obscure clause buried in municipal code. I learned that the HOA had authority, but only within very specific limits. Limits they'd been stomping over for years because no one ever challenged them. Then came the meeting. The HOA board meeting was standing room only that night. Neighbors who'd been fined into silence finally showed up. Linda sat at the front, smug and confident, gavel in hand. She started with the usual speech about unity and respect. Then I stood up. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't insult anyone. I just started reading. I read the section where it said towing required a written warning and a 72-hour notice. I read the part where fines required a hearing. I read the county statute stating that unauthorized towing was illegal and subject to penalties. The room went quiet. Linda's smile cracked. I wasn't done. I showed receipts, emails, photos, time-stamped videos. I showed proof that the HOA had selectively enforced rules, punishing some neighbors while ignoring others. I showed how fines were being issued without due process. I showed how HOA funds were being paid to a towing company owned by Linda's cousin. That's when the whispers started. The following week, the county showed up. Then the city. Then a lawyer representing 3 homeowners who had been too scared to speak before. The HOA tried to backpedal, sending apologetic emails and offering amnesty for past fines. Too late. Linda resigned quietly. The towing contract was terminated. Every illegal fine was refunded, with interest. The HOA bylaws were rewritten under legal supervision. The board was replaced by neighbors who actually lived there, not self-appointed tyrants on power. Trips. The day my refund check arrived, I stood in my driveway and watched kids play in the street again. No clipboards. No notes on doors. Just normal life. But the best part, a month later, I saw Linda's house go up for sale. The listing photos showed a lawn slightly out of regulation. I smiled, folded the check, and went back inside. Because sometimes, the smartest revenge isn't loud or cruel. It's knowing the rules better than the people who think they own you, and letting justice do the rest.